show you the sweetest delight in the garden as a surprise for Adam.
Really?
Come.
All right.
Here.
But this is the one tree in the garden we cannot touch. This is the forbidden fruit.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Surely not.
We may eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. Fruit of that tree, for if we do, we shall die.
You believe that nonsense? Of course you will not die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you and Adam will be like gods yourselves.
All of us one day will reach the level of the avatars that we have read about in history, the Buddhas, Jesus.
Infinite one's God.
You witches, serpent, you cast your spell up on this planet with your graven images and your wishes to be worshipped. Witches and warlocks flock like Harry Potter fans, waiting for your new age plan to spread across the land. You got the masses dumped down where you want them, convinced that you don't exist, and now you got them atheists. Some even think they're evolving to a godlike level above and beyond human. These Luciferian lies feed on ego and pride. They come disguised as an angel of light, like the original sin and the first deception. The tree in the garden, don't you see the connection? It's the same old lie that he used back then at the beginning of time, at the fall of man. Have we forgotten the truth within the book of Genesis? Ignorant of the nature of sin, so we dismiss written words of God as an irrelevant myth, but then embrace all these new age thoughts of nonsense.
It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did one or the other.
There is no God in doing. Everyone's God. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven, without judgment, without hate, without testing, without anything.
I call my practices and pagan worshiping as act exists. See through the smoke and the mirrors and the mist. From Atlantis to the American fanatical myths, to the UFO connection with the German SS. Secret society elitists from the east and the west. Illuminati and Masonics, man, it all connects. Satanic worship to the depths we don't want to admit. It's a globalized illusion that we gotta correct. Check the symbols and signs like the all-seeing eye. Read the Bible facts to understand the great design. See the writing on the wall, we're living in end times. And even the elective now bought into the lie. Real Satanists are dressed up in their suits and ties, eating the fruit like these fools who think they are divine. They aren't evolved, they're just blinded by ego and pride, living a lie that disguised like Jekyll and Hyde. Can you deny that these times were all prophesied? Read Matthew 24:24, you decide.
There's no such thing as good or bad. Judging things practice issue. There are things that I do that I know they involve me. There are other things that do not involve me. It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did one or the other.
There is no God in doing. Everyone's God. Everyone's God. Everyone's God.
All right, what's going on YouTube? It's Steve JMO. It is the 17th of November, the year 2020, and it's my mother's birthday.
Oh,
So,
oh,
shout out. What's up?
I said, tell her we said happy birthday.
Oh, I will. And for that, I'm going to have to make this rather, not like a quick show, but probably a good hour and a half first. I think she'll be home around 5-ish, so that'll be cool. And, oh, dude, I was just freaking out backstage how it wouldn't email. I just checked my email for fun. The video's there, good to go.
Nice, good.
I went to, well, as I was uploading it on YouTube, it goes upload complete, and then I checked my email. I had a little one next to it, and it's the video. I'm like, wow, just wasted my time completely there. It's funny how that works, but for anyone who doesn't know, I don't think I made any post about it today. I was just walking around downtown again where I live in the city, and you wouldn't even expect any of this stuff to be there. You wouldn't even, it shouldn't be there. Let's put it that way. There's no need to have, there's no reason, rhyme, or any plausible solution to seeing these Greco-Roman A-frame crazy buildings with angels on them all over the town. Like,
Yeah.
I know the cemeteries are wild, but go downtown and you tell me the difference too, from all the antiquitech on top, and even just like the things on top of the pillars, like half of those I could pass as stone heads. It's just absolutely crazy. But what's up with you today? How you doing? And shout out Big Daryl Davis. What up, boy?
What up, Daryl? Not much. I'm good. My husband's just starting his new job today. So that's exciting. It's better paid than the last job, thank goodness, and more hours. So that'll be good for us. And other than that, not much going on. I let my kitten out for the first, well, not the first time. She's been getting used to going outside and hanging out back here. So now she's out there on her own with my other cat. So if you see me looking out the window a lot, that's what I'm doing, looking for her.
It's all good. It's all good. That's pretty cool. But so guys, today we're gonna get into just more of the same, I guess you can call it, just old world structures, architect, artwork, fire, whatever, just the old world stuff that somehow has lasted allegedly thousands of years. And real quick, now this is not like a plug or anything. I don't even play video games like that, but I had to go somewhere today to get shit for my mom, obviously. And I came across this video game that I picked up for like $7. Let me put myself big for a minute. I don't know how to do that anymore because they changed it all. How do you do solo layout? There it is. It's called Assassin's Creed Origins. And like, I just saw like that, and I was like, wow, I'm going to have to pick this up. Not even to play it. I just want to just sim through the game and see exactly what messages they're trying to get through here. You see all that shit, Jen?
Oh, look at that. That looks like a graveyard.
Dude, right. It's like downtown Egypt and everyone's little graveyard, dude. I was like $7.99. I was like, I'm not even a video game guy like that. I just want to see exactly, because they have Anubis like he's like resurrecting someone here in the back in a pyramid. So I'm like, I gotta see that on film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they wouldn't do that for no reason.
They hide a lot of truth in these video games.
Just submerged.
Backstories and stuff are actually the true stories, his story, but they're masking it within a video game. So it's always out there. They tell us, but most people will be like, "Oh, that's just a video game," or "Oh, that's just a movie."
Yeah, just write it off. Just write it
Yeah.
off. Like, oh, I think I've seen that in this video before. It's like, well, I just saw it outside. You know what I'm saying? I love when that shit happens. I'll explain like structures or walls or pillars or even just like little off things or theories. And people are like, oh, like in that TV show? I'm just like, no, like in the Bible, or whatever. Like,
right.
Like, what's going on with y'all people? Y'all crazy watching too much TV. Like, the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, like with comparing like life and TV shows, because I don't watch TV shows like that. I don't even watch TV. You know what I'm saying? So like, I said one day with my friend, Lucifer, Satan, whatever, his goal is to return to Earth in the flesh, straight up, not in his little human disguise, not looking like this. Like, could be a dragon that comes back. I don't know. And they were like, you know what? That's exactly how the number one TV show in the world, Lucifer, ends. And I was like, wow. And I'm like, and I've never seen that show. And you people know that shit. And they were looking at me like I got 7 heads. I'm just like, how did I just predict the end of a TV show I've never seen based upon what's up here, what I hear, see, and watch? I don't know. But I do shit like that all the time. Some Westworld shit. I be talking mad transhuman. They're like, oh, like in that show? I'm just like, yeah. That shit's probably real though.
Right,
It's crazy.
exactly. It is. It absolutely is. And they show us a lot of advanced technology in movies. I remember back when in early 2000s, right around 1999, 2000, Eagle Eye came out with, I think, Will Smith. They were already using touchscreen technology back then.
Eagle Eye. No, that was with Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, okay.
That was a
One
good
of
movie
those,
though. That was a good movie for
yeah.
like for what's gonna happen because they like hacked his bank account and they had the woman controlling him from all the cameras. Like that was crazy. I remember watching that. I was like 11, 12 years old. I was like, damn. I was like, hope shit don't turn out like that. But here we are, steps away from that somehow.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, they're not going to load your bank account up. Don't be fooled on that part of the movie, but
Well, I mean, they
absolutely
could if
crazy.
they wanted to, but they won't do that.
Right, right. I mean, if they need you to do something and you're the only person that can do it, why not throw a little money in the mix? That'll make you do
Well,
it for sure.
that's what I think happened, and I think this happens to some of the people. Maybe their intentions weren't nefarious to begin with. Some of the channels that have flipped and stuff. It's like,
Oh,
it's just like if you look at Joe Rogan and what happened with him. He was so super cool up until a point, and then he was told to flip the script. Now that he had so many people following him and interested in what his interviews, and he was so cool and open-minded and conspiracy theorist and all this stuff.
right,
And
right.
then he flips the script, and he's going to lose a few along the way, but mostly
Right.
they'll all stick with him because they enjoyed his content so much. So,
And it's not like he comes out one day on a podcast and is just like, so we're going to completely reverse everything I've talked about. No, he kind of just slid it in a little bit, He kind of just slid it in. And that's how you do it. You get a huge following by talking this way, and then you flip it, and then you're that way. But everyone, like you said, only a couple people get lost in the middle. But the mass majority, I'd say about probably like 87% of people who follow people like that and they flip, like Jones, Rogan, whatever, they get lost in the sauce, dude. They get lost in the sauce. That's the greatest way to do it, I think, if you were going to do it. Spit them truth for 20 podcasts in a row, and then they ain't going to question you. And those next couple podcasts, you could convince them that your butthole's green,
exactly. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And so there's been a few channels that seem to have come in and
what's going on with that, dude?
Exactly the same thing. Yeah. I'm not going to name names because you guys probably already knew who we're talking about, but to see them just do an about face on stuff is really creepy. It's so creepy that we let these people hang out with us. They seem like they're just like us, but they've always been infiltrators, paid or not. And I'm pretty sure they're paid because you wouldn't go through this turmoil and tribulation for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it seems that they're so determined and hell bent on the way they see things and what they think is true, whether it's voting for Trump or people dying on 9/11, that it seems to me almost like, they're getting paid for it because they're going to those lengths of extremes to get those points across. When before, I don't understand how you can know the truth about all this stuff and think that your vote fucking counts. To me, you're just so desperate to be a part of something.
Hopium.
Yeah.
Worse than opium, in my opinion.
I just don't factor that into my thinking. It's just bizarre to me that you would backslide. I've never backslid on anything. I may revise my theory on things. Now,
nothing wrong with that. It's called growing.
Yeah, that's right. And I just recently watched my video from 2017 when I was rambling and ranting about the Mandela effect. And to listen to how I thought about it back then and where I'm at now with my conclusions, and I'm sure they're still ever evolving. It was just interesting to see where my head was trying to figure out the Mandela effect back then. I was still talking about time travel and CERN and portals and timelines. And
right. CERN can still fit in because I don't think they're doing anything science related. I think it's more alchemical. But we'll never, they're not going to come out on a podcast and like, hey, we ain't been opening black holes. We've been summoning demons. You know what I'm saying? They never come out and say that. But in reality, if you're going to blow a hole in the veil, why not do it 17 miles underground or whatever, Kind of makes sense in my opinion. There's no science going on there. They could be messing with aspects of what we think time is. But what is time? And, what is time? Time fucks me up because I swear to God, 2 weeks ago was like March.
Time does not exist except for in the matrix overlay that they put on us. Natural time is following the seasons and the
time is like age.
Sundial on the flat earth, gauging the shadow and everything like that. But as far as the timekeeping that they have us on now, and us so trapped in that paradigm of we don't have enough time, we're running out of time, we need more time, all this stuff. Time is money. That's all.
That's the worst. People who think like that get me going, dude. I'm just like, you can't take 20 minutes of your life. Like, time is money. I'm just like, y'all are lost, dude. I'm like, when the vax come out and you find out you can't go to your bank account or pay your bills, you will get it no problem. It sucks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks, I'm ready to walk away from everything, They could have the $6,000 I owe them. I don't give a fuck, I'm ready on the word.
Look at it this way.
On the word. These people aren't ready, Oh, I gotta pay my mortgage. Fuck that, dude. Fuck all that when it comes down to it.
There was a time when people didn't have the days of the week and the months of the year named out and everything. Oh, it's Monday, it's Tuesday or whatever. We're going to do this next Friday or something. I think they used to call 2 weeks a fortnight. Fortnight equals 2 weeks in medieval speak, I guess you might say.
Whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah, or they'd say 3 moons from now, or, with the next sunrise or something like that. They didn't have these months all portioned out and everything like that. You went by the lunar cycles and stuff like that. And this is how they knew when to grow their crops. They could tell by the change of the wind, which season was starting to come in when summer, when summer was ending and autumn was beginning and the harvest time, they could tell the shift in the winds, the shift in the sun, the shadow of the sun being further out or further in. And this is all natural time. And if you think about it, how much stress time puts onto us, and stress is not good for your body. We have a lot of stress overload due to the matrix that they have us living in.
Now, too, especially.
Yeah, I think
stress can cause a sickness too, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. There's so many things that stress does to your body. I mean, you wouldn't even imagine some of the things, the way your body tries to release that stress from your head, and it can go all the way down to your toes. I know people who have foot problems due to stress, and it just doesn't mean just stress on the way they walk, but stress itself.
Oh, no, yeah,
I
get you. And it's just it's terrible that they're like inflicting more stress on the masses as we speak.
Absolutely.
In states of high stress, and you're not thinking straight, you're probably not going to make the logical solution when that time comes. You may make the irrational, irresponsible, I need it because I'm all out type of response. You know what I'm saying? So when the vax comes and they have you whittled down to your wit's end, is your spine going to hold up? That's my question to a lot of people. I'm not calling anyone out. It's a question I've asked myself too, and I'm good with it. If I don't get a chance to get my bag and get the hell out, still good with it. It'll just be a lot quicker of a route out of here. Because the idea of the bag and the bug outs and all that shit, that's not the solution. It's just to make it a little bit more bearable until the time comes when the creek finally rises. Creek's rising now. When the creek floods, the creek is definitely rising. People can't tell that by now. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who make bug out bags in the hopes of being able to bug out if the things hit the fan and stuff. But if you've never been out in the woods or spent any time in the woods or camping or anything, and you just figure I'm just going to grab my bug out bag and go, you're going to have a rude awakening, because a lot of people aren't adapted to the outdoors that way. You're out for all day long, you're hiking around, but you get to go home at night, take your hot shower, sleep in your warm bed, make that hot plate of food. I heard a joke on Facebook earlier. It says, what happens if we all have to go back into the woods and live in the woods and hunt for our own food? And then they said, I don't even know where little Debbie lives. So I thought that was funny, but yeah,
Well, that's where everyone is, you know. Like I'm just as guilty as them all, but I'm more prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have all of the skills, but I've been touching up on just little survival things. What kind of trees, or I mean, what kind of leaves you're gonna want to make a fire when it's raining out. You know what I'm saying? Just
yeah.
little things like that. And I gotta get this I gotta download these videos before they're not available because they're on Richie's other channel, you know, the
Well,
jailbreak that no one touches. And he's
I
been
sent you
wiped off of YouTube in the last week. He's gone. He's done. It's all over for Richie. It's crazy.
even his band one channel's down.
That one got taken down, terminated 2 days ago. He's
Wow.
locked out of the other two backups, and BitChute's giving him issues. And still, I tried to do it again this morning. Sign up for RFB TV. For some strange reason, my cards declined. I'm not rich and I'm not poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I got money loaded on there, but I got a lot more than $2.99. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, last week, I took my entire paycheck, put it in the bank, sat in the parking lot till it cleared, and then I tried to buy it. It still wouldn't work. Went back in the bank, took my money out. I was like, give me that shit back. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see it. It's so weird. I
Yeah.
sent him an email, but I hope he's busy.
Oh,
He's
they'll
on the
take your
road, you
money
know?
like that. But when you're waiting for shit to load or a refund to come back to your card, it takes forever. You know, we were waiting for a refund for a week and a half. And they're like, oh, it'll be on your card within 5 days. Fifth day came, it wasn't there. And we're like, what the fuck? You know, like you had no problem taking it the second I made my purchase.
Of
But now
course.
it needs to come back and, you know, it's fucked up product or whatever. Yeah, I got to wait 2 weeks for my money. It's ridiculous.
Of like debit cards and stuff, like, not to get too far off the tracks, but you know, I didn't know that gas stations held like $100 of your money whenever you slide the card, because that's how that was my fucking greatest way of getting around the mask thing, and it still is, you know, because I'm not gonna go inside the fucking gas station with a mask on to get gas and walk back outside. I'll just slide the magic plastic card that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Little did I know that when you do that, it holds like $100 for a week for some reason. So I went to get gas twice because I did a lot of driving one week. Normally, I only go through a tank every like 8 or 9 days. So I had to fill up on like, the 5th or 6th day of the week, and it was saying card decline, card decline. I was like, what the hell? And I called it, and it said I had like negative some odd dollars. And then I like went to the bank the next day because it was like late at night, and like $115 were there, and I was like, dude. And then they were like, oh, look like Shell held your money or 7-Eleven, whoever it was.
What gives them the right to hold your fucking money when you got $10 worth of gas and they're going to hold?
Right, 15, if that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't ask. You're not signing no contract. They're like just going to put a hold on your fucking money. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that
for a
shit?
Week. Right, dude. I was like, I didn't sign up for that. And like, it's not even like it's written on like the, because when you go to the gas station, you got your keypad, and there's like a whole list of bullshit here. That wasn't listed there. It's crazy.
They fuck you at the pump.
Yeah, they fuck you anywhere, Massachusetts. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, I'm going to make this big. And I just got some pictures here that you can obviously relate to. You know what I'm saying? That you can't really. Here, let me. Actually, that's probably fine. You see that good, or?
Yeah, I like that top left-hand corner one. That looks interesting if you can zoom in on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it loading quick? Is it not lagging? Because for some reason, I forgot to renew my StreamYard thing last week's, and I don't know if it affects the screen sharing capability.
No, you're good.
We're good.
I have so many issues, and I pay for it, but you're good.
Right. I pay for it, too. I just ran out the other day because I had it hooked up to the unemployment bullshit card when I was unemployed, and I guess that ran out because that and like one of my Patreon dudes sent me, they send the email like your whatever's run out. I was like, really? And I checked what card it was. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I haven't seen or used that card in like 5 months. I was surprised there's still cash on there. Like, look how crazy this stuff is, though. Like, obviously, like you could tell this is a motherboard, but like right here. Right in the middle, dead middle. You would not be able to tell if like you just like block the other two pictures here on the left and the right and just ask someone, like, what do you think that is? City or a motherboard? No one knows what a motherboard looks like. They'll say a city. So when you show them something that looks like this, they're gonna be like, "Oh my!"
Yeah.
Blows their mind.
Steve, I don't mean to interrupt you, but if you go back over to the right-hand side, just scroll back over to the right. There you go. Now that picture there.
Your little wheelbarrows. Yeah.
There goes the thing that I just showed that's in Turkmenistan or wherever that place is with the square looking round Ferris wheel thing that they're calling it. These things are components to the motherboard. And what we're going to show you in Turkmenistan, whatever the hell you call that place, has one of these right there and spank in the middle of their city. That actually looks like their city, to tell you the truth.
It's very, very crazy, huh? It's crazy how those little things are there. And I know Turkey and whatever the hell you're talking about, aren't quite the same, but they're right next door to each other. The altar of whatever, the altar of Zeus or whatever, the throne of Satan, whatever they want to call it. That's not what they call it, but that's what we call it. You know what I'm saying? This is Duck, Duck, Go, so they know what's up. This was originally in Turkey, and they moved it to Berlin, but we'll get into that later. I just thought that kind of fit in there for a second because we're talking wheelbarrows in Turkmenistan, and now you got the throne of Satan moved from Turkey to Berlin, and
so right next to it is an actual city, though, right? Right next to that. There you go.
This is another motherboard.
Oh, I thought that was a real city, dude.
Yeah, dude. This one and that one. You wouldn't be able to tell, would you?
Dude.
I think the only one that's a city is like this one, and then probably the black and white one. Maybe. I don't know, dude.
Wow.
I don't know. Absolutely crazy. There's a couple more on this slide too I thought you'd like. This is kind of the typical one, but everyone should know this by now.
Okay, so the one that says CPU, that is set up just like Teotihuacan in South America with the pyramid of the sun and the moon. That looks exactly like that.
In Mexico,
There it is, yes. I'm sorry. It's right next to it.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. They got them all lined up. Orion's Belt, the ones in China, Egypt, trade centers, Mexico, and then your regular, what we're using right now for some reason.
Yeah, circuit board architecture. It's all around us. And even the new stuff that's being built, like the stuff in Turkmenistan, where we're going to look at in a little bit, all that's new construction, but it's set up just like the old world grid. And we're going to get into all that in a little bit. It's very interesting.
You know what's really interesting too? Because all of these have they kind of go back to Orion, or whatever Orion is, whatever, These all are an image of that for some reason. And it's very interesting that the first model D-Wave was called the Orion. Imagine that, the Hunter.
Wow. Yeah.
Imagine that. I still think D-Wave is that goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying, with the hands from the other day?
Oh, I agree 100%. I said my husband that.
That's scary stuff, dude. That'll keep you up at night.
And my husband's like, holy crap, you're right. That does look like hands.
It's nuts.
So this would be components. This would be components to the motherboard that fried during the X Factor event. They were highly damaged. They were ruined. That's why we call them ruins. They're not actually ancient. They slapped ancient on there to throw us off, to think that this is from some long thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago civilization that built this. Well, we couldn't understand how could these people from thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago build something like this. But when you start to realize the X Factor event only took place within the last 500 years, and this was a well-established civilization here prior to the X Factor event, it all makes sense. And then you understand that they're not temples because nobody dwells in these things. There are always these colossal buildings with monumental heights and stuff to them and thousands of columns all around. It's because it's actually a component. It's not meant to be lived in. It's not meant to be to worship in. It's a component to the motherboard.
And on ground level, where a human would be, on ground level, you can't tell that. But from above, and if you're 30, 40 feet tall, you can definitely get that mapped out for sure, because a lot of people have theories that, maybe it was humans or it was that, I got a strong feeling it was probably beings that were roughly, 20, 30 feet tall, descendants from fallen angels, perhaps could have been the fallen angels. Because some of the stuff that looks really devastated, I feel like those might be from the first X Factor event. And it's just interesting how everything looks like it kind of got blasted by lightning or something. You know what I'm saying? Can you hear
Yeah.
about Lucifer gets cast out of heaven like lightning? I know it's Obama and whatever, but was that the initiate to the X Factor event, perhaps? I don't know, because I feel like that'd be one hell of a lightning bolt. And
Yeah.
maybe that's what hit something like this, or just hit maybe Mount Meru in the center and it just worked its way out underground and frying everything from the bottom, perhaps, as we see everywhere.
Yeah, because when lightning hits the ground now, or if it hits something with an electrical component to it, it fries it, it sparks and arcs all over the place. Wow.
Just nuts, dude. Like, not identical, but like close enough. Close enough. You get all your stuff, like little pillars, big pillars, big pillars, you know? It's all right there. I think the one that I wanted to show you is next. Oh, it's not. I think it's right after this. This one freaked me out, though, because we looked at this a couple weeks ago. That really freaked me out. I was like, why is there forts that look like the D-Wave quantum chip? I'm like, that's not a good thing. I don't think. And of course, there's water around it. Maybe that's why a lot of these tech companies have blue as one of their main colors. Maybe blue is more than just a color. I don't know. Yeah, you know, that's crazy to me. Got your big temple. That's just crazy.
Steve,
like,
I'll give you 1 second. You keep talking. I'm going to mute for a sec.
You're good. We're good. We're looking at warehouses, I guess, or something on the motherboard. But you got these temples. I mean, like, look at this over here. If there wasn't that giant doorway there giving it away, you would not have any idea. I could have told you this was a computer chip taken in black and white or some bullshit. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Over here, clearly, it's really sophisticated and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But for real, look how big that door is. Don't tell me that's like, oh, you know, they had wagons and horses. Bullshit. Someone walked right through there, and his head probably went to like here. Just saying. This is where we're at.
Good news. My kitten came back on her own. She's here.
That's good.
I got her on September 11th, and that's when I found her, and she was already about 8 to 10 weeks old. So she's not so much a kitten anymore. She's on her way to like adolescence right now. So yeah, she's just familiarizing herself with the outside world.
Crazy.
Look at that. That looks like Chicago, dude.
That's what I was saying, like Pittsburgh or Chicago. Like, this looks like a river. This looks like a bridge. This looks like a boat for some reason, dude.
Yeah.
Why would there be a boat on a motherboard?
I could tell you one thing. They use mercury in these boards.
Of course. Remember that red mercury we were looking into a while back?
Dude, that red mercury and regular mercury as well. And they said some of these pyramids, these ancient pyramids, have mercury within them. And that tells me even more that they're tech. They're not tombs, they're tech. Look at that thing.
Yeah, this is where I wanted to I asked you about before when we were off stage or backstage. This is Castle del Monte Regio and Apollo. I don't know how to say that. Probably Apollo. Probably comes out to Apollo in Italy. And I mean, like, yeah. And look at that. I mean, like, Apollo probably hung out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nuts. That's nuts. You should see that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Like, that's crazy. The Vatican here. And this is just like, that blows my mind. That literally blows my mind. I don't like the stairways like that. They freak me out. And that's crazy. There's not even stairs, dude. They're just like fucking, it's just a smooth surface all the way down. That's crazy. The Temple of Zeus in Libya. How many temples of Zeus are there? How far fucking across did this guy get people? Possible that's like Nimrod or Lucifer, perhaps? Perhaps. Most likely. Most likely. For real, though. And they're all set up the same. How crazy is that?
They
That
are
blows me
exactly
away.
the same. All of
Dude,
these, yeah. And I got a
it's the
picture.
temple of Zeus in Libya, apparently. Who knew? Who knew?
I got stuff to show you. Well, when we go to Tajikistan, we'll see what I'm going to show you. We can wait because I got some crazy pics too.
This castle in Scotland. Come on. That's nuts. Funny how crazy shit looks from like a couple thousand feet up, too. That's what I'm saying. Look at this shit. It's in India.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's no accident that that water is right there as well. Water plays a key component in starports and in many of these constructions because the motherboard needs cooled. And if you have a spot where it's a major component to the motherboard, you're going to find some sort of water around it. This is why castles had moats around them. This is why Angkor Wat has a huge square moat around it because it's a component to the motherboard.
This is somewhere in Slovakia. Apparently, it was built in the 13th century, which I got a hard time believing. Look at this. We're going out to Turkey again. Turkey got effed, huh?
Yeah, something happened in Turkey.
That's just crazy. 23 shares. Should be more. Look at that. Like, who builds something like that?
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, what do you think about shit like that, though? Like the stories they have, like Perseus and cutting off Medusa's head and freezing the Kraken, turning it to stone. Because you know what? I will give these people who think who see outlines of giants just stonified everywhere. I think those may have been victims of Medusa. I think that. I think that a lot. It's very strange because, like, obviously, we know the difference between a mountain structure, building, whatever you want to call it, and what a petrified giant, a stonified giant. He's not petrified, he's stonified.
Yeah.
I think some of them were victims of Medusa. Because I think that mythology should be taken as reality.
One of the Egyptian statues had fallen over, and it was one of the larger ones, the colossal ones. And when it broke, the side arm of it broke off, and it took part of the torso part with it, just a portion of it. And they thought what was inside looked like a rib cage and a spine and stuff. And it's
like, what I'm saying.
These things aren't just perfectly made; they were actually real. They were something. Clearly, you know, because you're not going to have things inside of a statue that look like ribs and stuff.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a pocket of survival.
For real.
That's
look at what they're walking down. Look at even where they're walking down, you can still see brick layers in there and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very intense.
There's a lot of stuff in India. A lot of stuff in India and in the in Nepal and all those areas there. Look at that. Wow.
Germany. There's so many crazy castles in like Germany, Scandinavia, shit like that, like on the mountains, in the Alps.
I'd like to point out the conical roofs, which are the towers, and the black roofing on top of them. If that thing melted down, you would have a layer of black drippy stuff running down all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy looking.
Yo, right, yo? Eyes of the Gods. That's what it's called. That's what the cave is called in Bulgaria.
Wow. Yeah, that's melted for sure.
That's fucked.
Look at this.
This is in the United Kingdom. What is this? An early quote-unquote Viking settlement in Jaroslav.
Yeah, that looks like a component for sure. It definitely looks techie, and it also reminds me.
Long, too. Look at that.
It looks like Göbekli Tepe a little bit as well when they pulled out that place, and it kind of had that feature to it.
That's what I'm talking about, though.
Oh, this thing. I was looking at this the other day. This is definitely functional. This is a functioning. Now
I think this one's definitely good to go.
I want you to imagine in the old world where they had free energy and that these buildings were actually functional buildings. Everything you see on there was lit up. Now, it's hard for people to wrap their heads around this because we think of we need a light bulb for something to light up. It has to have a light bulb-ish feature. No, that's not the case. The materials that they use to build this stuff, the tech was built into the buildings. The building itself is tech, and everything was lit up back then at night. If there was even a nighttime to begin with, but these were self-illuminating buildings.
What do you think about all the water fountains, though? Those kind of like blow my mind. Like that, these are crazy. I
don't
see.
think they're not just fountains. They tell us fountains, and they're very ornate, but they're functional as well. Even right there looks like that D-wave thing we were looking at with the tier system. I just saw that tier system on a sword that they say is from the ancient Vikings, which I think the sword was actually tech. I sent you the handle picture of it, and I said, look familiar? And it was from a sword from supposedly the Viking era. But to me, it looked like a sword that maybe wasn't just a sword, but it was tech as well that you would hold in your hand and maybe get charged up or something. I don't know. Wow.
I like how it's a decent comparison too.
Well, everything was colorful like that back then. It was everything was like how it looks with the Taj Mahal in Russia. I think it's the Taj Mahal or whatever, with all those onion domes, and they're all colorful. They look like Candyland or something. I think Jerry was right when he said everything was like eye candy back then. It wasn't just everything was whitewashed. It was colorful, very, very colorful, including that building from India that we just looked at.
It's a big brick.
Yeah, it's a big fucking brick.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're going to get back there, but come on. That sucks. We were a couple pictures in, too. That's not fun. It always happens on the good pictures. I think that's a human down there, too.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
Even those bricks are kind of big. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, bro, because some bricks be looking huge. I'm like, a big motherfucker was masoning some bricks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they see the vitrification on it, too.
I see that one. Yeah, you can tell that.
Yeah, you can see it. So it could have been a whole bunch of bricks that expanded into one big brick, like they collected into each other. Oh, wow, that's cool.
Where is this? Let me see. Germany. Everything's in Germany, apparently.
Germany's got some crazy stuff in Germany, yeah.
Maybe that's why Hitler was, given his little power spiel in Germany, because he don't look German. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy how like he was the guy running Germany. I'm like, you don't even look German, bro. I watch soccer all the time. I've never seen like a blonde hair or a black haired, blonde eyed fucking or blue eyed dude. Never.
Well, I can tell you why we don't build this way anymore, because we always say, well, how come we don't build this way? Because we are not using the same energy as they are. We're using electricity that involves wires and capacitors and stuff like that. They had wireless free energy. They were hooked right into the energy of the earth by the buildings that they met. And if you go back to that picture you were just on with the floor, even the floor, you could tell is set up as a component. And the energy was all around them. So it would be no thing to make something run if it had moving parts, or if you were to illuminate a room once it got to a certain part of, say, shadiness or darkness, the room would self-illuminate. And this is one of the reasons why I say, well, we don't build like this today, because we're not on that same energy grid. They have us using the inverted energy instead of natural energy. We're using an inverted type of energy where we have to have wires and wooden posts to hold the wires up from house to house, all these. And there's a lot of places like this new town in Turkmenistan that we're going to look at that has they have to be using free energy there, dude. When you see the architecture that they built and the lighting system throughout, there's no wires anywhere. There's no electricity running anywhere unless it's all completely buried underground, which I don't buy that whole underground thing. I think they tell us that to say that's their reason why you don't see electric poles out front or running down roads and stuff or up the sides of mountains. Oh, it's just all underground cables. Is it? Is it really? Or are you hooked into the free energy and you're just telling us, the sheeple who have to pay for it, that, oh, it's just look at the tech on that thing. Wow, that's crazy, dude.
The fish serpent eating its own tail, essentially, too.
Wow.
But that is crazy. Look at the size of the doorway, bro. You telling me humans 6'1" human. No, I'm talking like 22'1" motherfuckers built this
Look at
shit.
what's on top of it too is very
Yeah,
interesting.
that's my graveyard, dude.
Yeah.
That's where I'm buried. Oh, that's a dude. That's like a dude looking up with his hands, though. That's crazy. Who would build something like that? You know, like of a human mind. I don't see that happening. Inspired by something non-human, I could see. Look at the little boy in the background too, yo. What's that about? I didn't
That's
see
a Tesla
that.
tower. That is a Tesla tower on top of that building for sure.
Absolutely, in the middle of the woods.
I sent you a picture to go right along with that because it's from China.
Where? Right here?
Up a little bit. Scroll up a little. Not that one. We're going to go back 2 pictures. That one.
This
there
one.
it is. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, the Chinese one over here.
Yeah, and that one there that you're pointing at is the size of, say, an obelisk in a graveyard, or one of the things we see in a graveyard. So these are smaller versions. This is the same stuff we see in Europe that looks like it's down on the ground from the top of a building, which is the next picture over that I sent you.
To the left.
Yeah. Okay, now that is the tops of buildings, and I zoomed in on it because the way it's cut off on the Martin Liedrich's banner, that's the stuff that we see in graveyards all fucking day long, and really it's just
all day long, dude.
All day long, dude.
That's so nuts. That's crazy.
So I don't think, because some people are like, oh, you're just stretching. This is way into the what if drawer. What are you talking about? When you start looking at what's on top of the buildings, why are we seeing the same exact things down on the ground? They didn't build the stuff like that for nothing. We're calling it Antiquitech on top of a building. So why couldn't it be Antiquitech on the ground? There you go. There you go.
It just makes me wonder, like, what happened? Like, if I could watch from this vantage point, like above it all, what the fuck happened, though?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Devastated. And then a lush forest. How? That's what blows my mind. Is like devastation. Crops cannot grow over here, clearly. Nothing can. And then a lush, thick little half forest, you know? Like, that's nuts. And then water. It's no big deal. You know? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, dude, that's just nuts to me. Like, did a lightning bolt that's like 5 miles wide just strike here? Because that'd be a great way to heat something up real quick and then eliminate that heat.
That could have been the area where the cooling system was. They could have had a lake there of some sort of something that had dried up but still was moist enough to capture seeds and sprout vegetation in that area. It could have been something like that as well. Because when you start to look at some of these ancient sites that did have water around them but don't anymore, they have a lot of that vegetation within it.
Yeah. Just nuts, dude, right?
Yeah.
Strange.
And you know what's interesting too is that you just see the stuff hanging down or on the sides of the poles. You never see any wiring, anything. It's like, okay, this is just what I'm using just to hang this light here, but the light works on its own.
Yeah, you got your Freemasonic colors over there. You got a nice Jewish star over here. Makes you wonder a little bit. Because I'm sure this was built before fucking Freemasons and modern day Judaism. You want to take this one away, Jen? Because you can go anywhere.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was clearly a structure. It's been completely devastated.
Dude.
You can't even make out any pockets of survival or what this building may have been. But even in the background there, in the foreground and the background, it's just now these areas were hit really, really hard. Whatever this was at one time is no longer, and it's completely melted down. And that's where we get confused a lot of times, is that we don't realize that parts of the motherboard fried more than others. And that's why we see pockets of survival. If you watch a motherboard fry, some components, depending upon what they're made of, each component is usually made a little different. If you have the ones that are the microchips, they have their own material. You have the ones that are the capacitors and all these other things that are made out of other glass or some type of polyurethane or whatever the hell they use, would burn differently, would melt down differently or quicker or slower. So I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of these locations is that.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's no coincidence that there's like the same rock formation all the way up the side of the mountain. You know, there's no.
That looks to me
There's
like
no repetition in erosion, if you know what I'm saying.
it actually looks like it has fallen over, like it's
That's what I'm
slumped
saying.
over.
Yeah, it was probably up here and it was just like clumping down, and then like it just stopped magically.
Yeah, because you see that flat top there on the top?
I did.
Oh, okay. Let's just stay right here for a second.
Are you okay? Okay.
Okay, well, okay, there's the flat thing, but yeah. So here, okay, so you have this mega mansion thingy here with its towers and domes, but in the front you have that. That's that techie stuff we see on the ground,
Shit.
and we see it in graveyards. Now that picture I sent you, which was, well, we have one of a graveyard one that I'm going to show you, and then one of these things that's out front of a castle. And there you go.
Very crazy. There's little random shit like this all over downtown. I got pictures of too.
Yeah, that's definitely some tech. Oh, look at this. Is this organs? Is that an organ? What is that stuff? That looks like tech, whatever it is right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that something where he walks up the steps and stands there and talks or something? Maybe it goes
kind of sketchy. That's weird. But here, that's enough of these. There's 337 more photos.
Oh my gosh.
we won't waste our time in there right now. Not wasted, but you know what I'm saying. There's good stuff there. But we'll definitely hit it back on a different one. Yeah. All right, let's go through your pictures first, and then we'll go through because I got a couple videos I want to share as well from earlier.
Okay.
All right, well, let me see. Let me just see where my pictures. Let me see where mine lead off. That's still me. God damn it! When did I send you? Feel like you just sending all the pictures. Oh, you know what? Let me share this too. Is that Jade OG? That shit's crap.
Love it.
Check this out, people. Look at this. I was trying to post in the chat earlier telling you guys we're having technical difficulties. YouTube rejects your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it in a bit. Fuck you. This is my own chat.
That's muffed up.
That's muffed up. All right. You want to start here or do you want to?
No, go back a couple of pictures to where we were before you switched back. Okay.
Go.
All right. Now go forward from there, or to the left, I should say. Go left. Okay, that right there is something that you see in the graveyards, okay? You see them everywhere in the graveyards, but you also see them on the ground in front of castles, in front of, palatial estates and all this stuff like that. I think like when we see electrical poles out front of our house, this will be the electrical unit for that property or to work in tandem with that building's architecture. Now, if you go back a picture, not to the left, but go to the right, there should be another picture that goes with this. That is the same thing as what we just saw down on the ground in front of that castle. This is in a fucking graveyard, guys. So I don't think I'm stretching too much to make the connection here. In my gut, I feel that there is a connection between the things that we're seeing in graveyards and what we're seeing as tech on top of buildings and out front of buildings. For sure.
Without a doubt. I've been in enough graveyards to completely understand that. And if not, they're just parts of the building, Yeah. If not the top of the dome, then it was definitely something that was on the side or, going up the spires.
So head back to the left. We'll go left. There's only a couple more pictures.
Well, this is it for the left.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got the halls over here.
Okay, so this is, perfectly placed 1,212 pillars at the Rameshwan Temple in India. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I mean, this is like looking inside of one of those microchips with all the columns on the side. Here we are inside it. And this is amazing how we lived within this motherboard architecture. They tell us that these are temples. Nobody lives here. Nobody's going to raise their children here, use this as housing or office space. It's just meant to walk through and meditate. I mean, give me a fucking break, guys. This is clearly a component. And it was always a component. We just rename this stuff because we have no idea what it was really for. Well, they do, but they have us thinking they're just temples.
I feel like if you go up there with the right kind of musical musical instrument and play the right key, something might happen in the air around you, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. You remember a
Everything
while
was
back?
vibrations back in the day. Look at
Well, a
that.
while back, and that's another section of this area. You just supposedly just walk through it, but it's, this whole tunnel full of these columns, perfectly placed. Everything's polished and perfect, made out of this granite stone and everything. And it's supposedly from ancient times. But no, this is always, and see how colorful it is too. This is the way the whole outside world looked. Everything was colorful and bright, vibrant. It wasn't, because it's hard to see now because everything's ruined. But apparently everything was functional and aesthetically pleasing at the same time.
Maybe that's why they weren't allowed to shoot in color until the mid 20s and 30s. Because I've heard, I haven't done too much research, but from the research I've done, they've been able to shoot in color the whole time. They just weren't allowed to. They have patents. The patents go back mid 1800s. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't applied until the 20s. Well, in this new reality, I mean, you have cartoons that were colored for somehow in the 1800s, but I'm talking the reality we all were from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy how I believe they were allowed to, they had the ability to shoot in color, but they weren't allowed to because if we saw this crazy color and what we'd have questions, like we have now. They didn't want us to have questions in 2001, 1997. What, you know what I'm saying? They never actually want us to have questions, but now we're putting this shit together and we're knocking on their doors. They're starting to get pissed. They're starting to get scared. It's funny.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because we're exposing it all. And I wanted to see if we could go to, and I know you still got pictures that you want to show and everything, but I want to go to that. I want to go to Tajikistan. I wanted to go to video I sent you. Now, John Levy did a video on Tajikistan. I know I'm saying it right. Kyrgyzstan, whatever the fuck it is. And this inspired me to go look at it myself. And I sent you a tourist video, that one right there. And that one shows you some crazy shit that they built. And they used all marble and everything. This is a dictatorship. So the people have to do what the dictator wants. And the dictator also told everybody they all have to drive white cars. So there's no other car color allowed except white cars. And I think that's interesting when you start to look at their motherboard component that they've built up here. But yeah, we're going to play this and listen to it. This is really crazy, guys.
Oh, you want to listen to it too?
Well, I mean, we don't have to. You're right. We could just look, but it's kind of interesting to hear some of the stuff that he says. So I don't think it would be a bad thing if we played the audio.
Oh, yeah. I just had it on full share. Let me share the screen exactly and get the audio. We should be money now. Let's just make sure we don't have how many subscribers? 2 million subscribers. All right. If he pulls this down, it's your fault.
I call this rebuilding the motherboard because this area was rebuilt, but it's rebuilt in the old world style. So now I say to you, well, why don't we build this way anymore? These people took it to that level, started building it. It looks like the World's Fair from 1915 at this fucking place.
That's what I was thinking. You're sending me pictures of motherfucking Ferris
but wait,
wheels.
Do you see how colossal all this shit is? They have colossal statues, colossal architecture. It's just unbelievable. And this is architecture that people don't live in. These monumental things and stuff, which they're actually components to the motherboard grid system. All right, go ahead.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful evening here in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan, my 170th country. If you like weird, off-the-beaten-path destinations, then this might be my most exciting video yet. Get ready to hear about life in this bizarre post-Soviet Central Asian country.
Welcome to Turkmenistan.
With less than 10,000 visitors a year, Turkmenistan ranks as the 7th least visited country in the world.
How?
Why? Because it's extremely difficult and pricey to get in. Much like North Korea, every tourist must be on an organized trip to get the visa. And my 4-day private tour is costing me just over $1,000. Believe it or not, Turkmenistan is one of the wealthiest countries in the region because they have the 4th biggest natural gas reserve on Earth. And what comes as a result? A perfectly constructed capital city called Ashgabat that's completely decorated in the whitest marble you've ever seen.
Marble.
How many white buildings there are?
It's about 80% of buildings, white and marble.
So crazy, yeah. It feels like Disneyland in a desert.
And this is the biggest fountain in this installation.
What?
Within 12 square miles, there are nearly 1,000 buildings glistening in over 5 million cubic
And let's
meters.
pause it right there.
Oh,
That
the
right
world's
there-
in between that. That's not good. I saw when you sent me the picture. I couldn't see what was in the middle, but the world's in there. Oh.
Yeah, and this thing lights up at night, and I think that they're using the
good.
free energy to light it up. Also, oh God, what was I going to say? Oh, well, it's really hard to get into this place, kind of like North Korea. I think what they were doing was they were hiding a lot of stuff. North Korea was hiding a lot of stuff. That's why it was a closed nation and wouldn't let anybody in. That weird hotel that we were showing, the pyramidal hotel.
That was in North Korea.
That's in North Korea as well. When you
Imagine
see
that.
what's going on here, and these are all components to their grid system, guys. You got to pay attention. All right.
Of imported white marble. In fact, so much marble was used in Ashgabat.
Real quick, okay. Now that I got my attention taken right here. Forgot what I was watching, but I don't know if it was a video or I was watching a video and someone was showing clips from some TV show or movie, and the end result of that show or movie, whatever it was everyone evolving from humans to beings of light, and that is literally what they look like, and that startles me. What
did they look like? They look like the things on the side of the road.
Literally,
I see.
yeah. Yeah, like that's kind of sketchy. Wow. They're just all hanging out. They were allegedly
illuminated
beings of light. I'm like, huh? I was like, it sounds awfully like what those new age free whatever's be offering. Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm like, now they got street lights that look like them. These are probably 5G capable too. Compatible.
Probably. This place is so crazy, guys. Now you got to see when they show these things that we're looking at, like that circle thing in the front there. These things are colossal. They've built this stuff on such a monumental scale. And this is what we see from the old world as well. We see monumental size, colossal buildings and structures and monuments and all this stuff like that. They're actually were all components to the motherboard. And what I think is that this was one of the Tatarian Empire nodal points. Because when you start to see these statues that they've built, it looks like we're looking at Tartarians. But anyway, continue.
Well, real quick, is it plausible to think or maybe even theorize or ponder upon this idea that maybe 5G is just turning on the old free energy? You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if shit's going to be like it was in the days of Noah, I'm sure that there were incredible amounts of millimeter type technology in the air. If these fallen angels, remember, they witnessed creation. They saw God do it all. You know what I'm saying? They know a couple tricks, and they know how to harm a human being if they saw how they were made. You know what I'm saying? If we're made from the dirt of the earth, well, what's going to harm the dirt of the earth? Chemicals, radiate, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not radiation, but you know what I'm saying? The airwaves.
Yeah.
And that's what people are going to be crying one day. Oh, someone got irradiated or they got COVID. It's like, no, they just got blasted with 5G. And you know what? Let me find this commercial. You go. You're going to talk real quick,
so
right?
I'd like to mention that 80% of the population works for the government. They're in a dictatorship, and this place with all these monumental white marble buildings and apartment complexes, whatever these things are, because it can't be that people live in these. There's so many of them around. But what I'm telling you is that during the day, at least the pictures that most people take during the day, there's nobody out on the streets. It's almost like one of those China cities that are left empty, but all built up, and you only see a few stragglers here and there, like a handful of people, maybe a couple hundred people live there, but it's made for like 200,000 people or something. That's what this place is like.
Interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're good. I'm just trying to find this 5G video because my brother the other day, we had a very crazy storm. I mean, the whole northern East Coast got fucking railed with a a band of red. If you know weather and
I
radar, is
saw
what
it.
I'm talking about. Yeah, dude, it
We
was what
saw it.
900 miles long. Dude,
Yes,
I've
it
never
went
seen
through the whole
anything like
continent.
that.
I think.
And like my brother's not too deep in this shit. And I come home yesterday, he just looks at me. He's like, "You know that storm last night, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's 5G." I'm like, "That was 5G." I was like, "What do you mean that's 5G?" I'm like, I can't. I'm like, the shit I look into. I'm like, I don't think 5G fucks with the weather that hard because we had like 90-mile-an-hour winds out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, it's crazy for like 5 minutes though. For 5 minutes, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
because it was a real
But
thin
he tells me
line, but it's
he
very
showed me
powerful.
this. Well, yeah, he showed me this Verizon commercial, right? It was a 5G commercial. I'm gonna try to find it right now, dude. The second they literally had a switch, right? The dude turns the switch on, and the first thing that happens, hurricane winds. Dun, dun, dun. I was like, what? I was like, are you kidding me? He was like,
Look,
no, bro, no. I was like, wow, that's
look at
not.
that light pole. Look at the light pole right here in the front of the picture. That looks like that
Oh
D
yeah.
wave thing showing.
Oh
The
my
way it's
god, it does, dude.
yeah.
Up here,
It's all
why does
built.
everything look like that? I shared something, and then one of Paul's buddies, the black sheep researcher, they were like, "That's just Janice." I'm like, "How?" I'm like, "How's everything Janice all of a sudden?"
I know.
They're
But see,
talking
even
the two arms that come out. They're like, that could just represent the two separate, whatever's. I was like, what? And they're telling me that the bird that, the Republican, Democrat, the two wings are just two separate heads. I'm like, here we go. I'm like, fuck, why is everything Janice or whatever Janice is? It's
well,
crazy.
these buildings in the back have tech on them too. They have the spires up there and everything on tops of even these buildings. And we'll look at the columns coming down the center of the building. I mean, this is tech we're looking at. These aren't just apartment complexes and all this stuff like that. Most likely there's nobody even in these buildings, because when you look at how many of these buildings are when they show a panned out version of this white marble city, where is everybody? There's hardly anybody around anywhere.
You ain't lying. It's crazy. Like, how is that though? It's like it's like all the missing people in the pictures from way back when.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So I think
Can't
some of
find this
these places
video.
aren't even meant to be lived in. They're just tech to the board, to the motherboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not finding this. That's okay. Let me get back to the share screen. All right. Want me to play again or?
Yeah, let's hit play because it's going to get really interesting here.
Oh.
Was awarded a Guinness World Record.
This is the Ministry of Agriculture.
Wow.
The next one, this is the Parliament. We're not able to take a picture of that.
Even from the car?
Yeah, because they're guards.
Ministry of Education.
Look at that fucking thing. See that building?
Hold on.
Look at that.
They said they weren't allowed to take pictures of this building. That's crazy.
Exclusive, but you could really see the tech on that pole right here in the front. Yeah, right there. You can really see that tech there of the light pole or whatever that thing is that you said it looked like them creatures, those beings. And the building itself looks like something from the World Fair. So it's like old world architecture that they are rebuilding. Now, like I said, we always say we don't build like this today, but these people are. They're rebuilding, or it was closed nation and this shit was always there and they've just refurbished all of it and didn't get damaged during the X Factor event, which I think that's why North Korea was a closed nation for quite some time, because they couldn't explain away this stuff. But if they have a dictator in place with closed borders, they can control the flow of information leaving that country and nobody will actually even know what's going on there. That's why you're not allowed to take pictures of these buildings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Even from the car?
Yeah, because they're guards.
Ministry of Education, open book.
And this is the Ministry of the Foreign.
What the fuck is that, dude?
It's crazy, this shit. It's tech. It's all fucking tech.
Affairs. You see them in the top globe?
Yeah.
There's a golden Turkmenistan.
The rest of the city is beautiful from the outside. Perfectly manicured gardens, huge boulevards, elegant fountains, and amazingly detailed statues. The statues are kind of freaky. They're all looking at the monument. When you turn on the TV, a propaganda commercial shows off the country in the best way possible.
Notice that they're propaganda.
Of course.
But the funny thing is, the streets are shockingly empty during the day, almost like a ghost town. So I'm walking around the middle of downtown Ashgabat, and it is just so weird. You got all these white buildings everywhere, and these monuments staring.
Go back to that tower. Look at that. That's exactly what we just saw on the light pole. That's exactly what we saw with the D waves. That's exactly what we saw in the arm of that chair with that statue typing on the computer. It's a Tesla tower. It's energy. It's tech.
That's crazy. Wow. Look at the lights, though. Like, what's the point of all them? That's nuts.
Well, they're all free energy. They can put as many up as they want.
Oh, it's just they're just showing off at this point.
Exactly, dude.
Wonder who the president actually is. You know what I'm saying?
It is just so weird. You got all these white buildings everywhere and these like monuments staring at you. The only people around here are construction workers and soldiers. This wedding hall is obnoxiously big, and it just doesn't make sense.
Wedding
like,
hall,
how could
guys.
that many people be getting there?
It's not a wedding hall.
You
It's
get
a
the feeling
component.
that someone is watching over your shoulder 24/7, and it's always nerve-wracking to take any photos or videos. But I did find the people to be very friendly and quite curious, and most of them do love the camera. Spasiba. On one occasion, I was lucky enough to see people out in the streets. Okay, so we hear some drum beats over here, and apparently it's a Turkmen wedding. We're gonna crash it.
Look at the statues. The statues are like giants, like the Tartarians.
Of course, made an image.
Putting the flashiness of the city aside, the people really live a simple life here. Less than 1% of Turkmenistan's 6 million residents have internet access, and over 90% of all workers are employed by the government.
Wow.
So when I hear that
90%.
Turkmenistan is constantly ranked rock bottom in terms of corruption, I can't be that surprised. The former dictator, Sapamorad Niyazov, this guy liked to do things his own way. He renamed all the months based on the names of his family members.
What?
He banned opera, ballet, and circuses because he thought that they were too noisy. He only allowed white cars on the roads and made it illegal to have pet dogs because he didn't like the smell. All of his weird laws have influenced society in the strangest of ways that will leave you scratching your head. What a strange place. It gets even stranger with the new dictator. Global news right now is filled with articles that he has gone.
If you had a city that was so vast and open areas like that, and sculptured walkways and gardens that go for like miles and stuff, stretching through town and everything, why wouldn't anybody be out enjoying any of that stuff? Why even have all that if nobody's out? Is there really 6 million people here? I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy. But I gotta let the rest of this play out. I gotta go downstairs for a sec, okay?
Okay.
Gone missing since June, but I figured out pretty quickly that he's certainly around. When I drive to the hotel from the airport, the police officer came to us on the street and was like, pull over now, the president's coming through. So we had to pull over and like hide behind a tree, and the president came. Yeah, I see the police lights. And all these cop cars had the lights on, and he passed, and it's very suspicious that a president is driving by at 4 a.m. Ashgabat is, without question, one of the most fascinating and puzzling cities I've ever seen. It really feels unbelievably staged here. I cannot wrap my head around what is real or not, and it blows my mind how the government spends dozens of billions of US dollars to make these white marble buildings behind me that are completely empty. Stay tuned for more stories from this really awesome, fantastically strange country called Turkmenistan.
All right, so yeah, there he even said it.
No, America.
They spent all this money on these white marble buildings.
Really? What is your name?
Drew.
This is just some stuff at the end of the video, guys.
Drew, like D-R-E-W.
Oh, Justin Bieber.
Ah.
Oh my God.
What was it?
I don't get it. Why Justin Bieber?
No. You look like Drew. No, Justin Bieber's surname is Drew. I also said like that. Yeah, Justin Drew Bieber.
You like Justin Bieber?
Yes. Yeah, we adore. So can I take a selfie with you?
Yes, but let me take one of you first.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm Drew Binsky, and if you like my travel videos, please click subscribe and join me as I plan to visit every country in the world.
The Google Super Safe Stuff Secure, also known as the 5G Google Pixel with the Titan M chip.
All right.
All right. So, at the very end, before you got to the part with the girls all talking to him, he said that they built these colossal marble buildings, and they're mostly empty. Like nobody lives in them. Why would they do that? Like, are they expecting an influx of people, or are they just actually components to that area's circuit board system? And that's what I'm leaning towards.
What's that?
Oh, hey, baby.
Who's that, Bella? Hey,
Bella.
little Bella Boo. You're live, buddy.
So
She's
cute.
like, I don't give a shit. My daddy just left. My brother mainly takes care of her because, I work all the time, but she's cool. I just got to watch her for a minute, but we can keep going. That's why I was just like, fuck it. Let me bring the computer downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Yeah. John Levy covered it. You can look at his version of it. To go to his channel, and he pointed out all this interesting stuff, and I had to go investigate it for myself, and I was like, what? How many places are around like this? I mean, there's so many places that we haven't really tackled yet that probably look just like this.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's so crazy. And it's like, what are we even allowed to know? Like with the internet access and hey, that's not nice. Hey, I know. You just want your daddy and you want to play. Come here. She wants to do tug of war. There we go. But yeah, because like, what do they have in China? They have a completely different internet, so they're not even allowed to know what we know. So who's to say if we get on our internet, like it's not spliced like that,
Well, that's what I said about the whole, Kernani situation when this first started. They could have told the people in Europe that all this craziness is going on in America, and they're telling us that all this craziness is going on in Italy and all these other places. Who the hell really knows? I don't even know what's going on in the next town over from me, let alone in fucking Italy. You know what I'm saying?
Right, dude. Like, remember, like, towards the middle part of this, like, when the riots started happening, people from outside the U.S. were, like, sending us messages like, hey, I'm sorry to hear about the United States. I'm like, what are you talking about,
like, what?
bro? I'm like,
Another day.
maybe Wisconsin's looking kind of rough, but that's about it. Like that had me bugging. I was like, what are they running on, like, BBC right now? Had me kind of, like, freaked out for a minute. Yeah. Very crazy. Very, very crazy.
I remember we were talking about these empty Chinese super cities that they built, that a lot of the stuff that we may have saw them doing in China could have been staged at these cities. If you look at Hollywood, they had sets built out in the West, in like deserts and stuff, where they would do their Western movies, and then they'd leave that shit there, and it looks like an empty ghost town. But you know what I mean? It's like, if you didn't know, you would think that was where people lived and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I'm just going to share real quick some snapshots I took today when I was just walking around downtown. It brought me right back to the giant clock tower thing with something someone could easily, have a speech out of, with a giant door. And right below here, you can't really see, but this is the thing that says I-636. But I got video of it later, but just like, look how crazy it is, And the black tape is on there. They're just like freshening it up, I think. That's all you can do with stuff like this. You can't build shit like that nowadays.
Look at that on top, dude. That's so graveyard-ish.
It's crazy. I got a better picture somewhere of the tippity top. I think it's within the video, but we'll get there. And this is just City Hall, people. Wow, that came out pretty good, huh? That looks nice.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely cool.
I don't know what they're doing, but they put a little cover over all of the tops of the pillars here. I don't know what they're doing. Only that. Imagine that, though. It's just crazy.
Now, see all the things on the A-frame, those little nodules?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surmising that when this tech was working,
those
things all lit up like you would see in the World's Fair at night.
With the pillar tops, I think, too.
Yeah, so it was like you would think, oh, well, they just have lights strung along it and everything. No, the building was functional. It functioned. And when it worked, it was lit up.
Look at this thing, dude.
Oh, wow.
Just random little structures. The next one's even crazier. The next one's labeled quantum physics. Check this out. You can't really read it. Yeah, you kind of can. Quantum physics. Like, what?
Wow.
That's crazy, dude. I don't know what that's for, but it's on a little pillar.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We got this little eagle looking fucking fierce as hell. I'm not sure that's supposed to represent, but I got my ideas. This was on top of, I forget what building it was. May have been the Financial Plaza building. And it's just like, I wonder what that really meant back in the day. WF.
Right.
Very crazy. I think this is the rest of the building right here. Yes, it is. Because, the WF. Oh, Monarch Plaza. But these pillars, no big deal. Stone as fuck or whatever. But right above it, brick.
Yeah, because I was going to say there's like a facade that they put over. They're high because the tech's actually in the brick of the building. They have it's hard to explain, guys, but the components that they use to put these buildings together, the tech's built right into it. That's why I'm saying the whole building is tech itself. It's functional. Wow.
Right? Like, what's the point of that? Having 4 angels because they're on each corner of the building,
Right?
And they're only from the waist up. So, like, Jen, what were we talking about way back? Circles of Hell, Dante's Inferno. They get to the bottom, they only see Lucifer from the waist up.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that. That's all you get here. That's all you get here. How crazy is that?
There's supposed to be 4 angels at the 4 corners of the earth that control the wind.
Mm-hmm. Very crazy. The corners. You can't have corners on a circle. Now, I thought you liked this. This is just a interesting top of a old building where the clock doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
Old school as hell. Little pillars on the side of it. What are you doing?
It's weird how it's greenish like that. So I guess it had copper in it. Now we know copper is used in these Tesla.
Well, I think this is the original black, and just over, maybe it definitely got burnt, dude, because, like, look at the bricks on top.
Wow. Oh,
right?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's damage there.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There's some devastation downtown. I didn't get much picture of that. Yo, this is the crazy building. We'll get there in a minute. I didn't get to go in, though. Only this door was open. But look at that, people. Wow. That's a Freemasonic symbol. And it's just busted. And that's on the top. This is the bottom. And that's the top, Jen. Imagine that. Yeah. You were saying, oh, wait, that would be the 5th floor. Don't tell me that's where the fucking lawyer's office was. That's fucked up.
Is that where
fucked up? That would be the 5th floor, because I said I only counted 4.
Unless the 5th floor is underground. One of the floors is underground, maybe. I don't know.
Right. It's still sketchy either way. This is just on the side of an apartment, and it's AD 1900. I'm getting away from you. You're like farting and shit. Stupid dog. She's like growling at her toy and like letting it rip. She's nuts. Hey, that's the goddamn curtain.
Is that a 1 or an eye?
That looks like a 1, actually.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh, this goddamn dog just ruined the curtains again. It's just doesn't ruin them, but it just takes them out of spot. She likes laying on top of the couch. She likes to look out. She's a snooper. Look at the dragon.
Look at the one window, though. It looks like it's all warped out or something, the window there. Like, I don't know why. I guess it's wood or something there on top.
Oh, we're in the hood, Jen. That's what happens in the hood. Yeah. That's why I said I was, walking around town, whatever. But, like, look at, like, these little dragon things. They got this horn and shit. Like,
oh, yeah.
Look at all these trumpets everywhere. Got the torch in the middle. I just thought it was a crazy looking crest.
Yeah, it's overly ornate for that spot. It's like it's just
overly, so right? Yeah. This is just this is the entrance to the casino. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not a casino.
Yeah, they repurposed this building for sure. But the overly ornateness of these buildings, it's just now we realize that the ornateness plays into the functionality of the actual tech itself.
It's crazy. And you can't miss it either. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look.
Even in those etchings, the etchings that we were looking at, the stuff that was ruined was overly ornate and stuff. It was like, what was the purpose of this, you know? And here's something there that looks like tech as well.
Yes, I took a picture of that and immediately thought of you. I was like, I don't know what this is, but there's a castle next to it. There's a pillared building that's brick based, and then right next door is the town hall in Symphony Hall with the pillars and whatnot.
And we see that in England with
Right,
a lot
this
of the
is right in the middle of this is right in the middle of the commons too. Sorry to interrupt, but like look how like the brick road leads you there. Downtown is completely brick sidewalks. It's crazy. And I've never seen them worked on before. It's nuts.
All right, I'm sending you a picture that goes with the picture you're showing right now.
Okay.
Just so you know, because a castle with that tech out front, and it's just like that on that step layered kind of look to it where it cones upward.
Let's see. Yes, this one here.
Yeah. So that's the castle in front with the dome. That's the castle part, and out front is that with that layered step look to it. Which this one's square, that one's round, but still, it seems to be they go together. It's functional. It's a part of that other building because they're always out front of cathedrals or castles or these types of places, palatial palaces and stuff.
That's what's up. You can't miss it. All right.
And then there's water there too as well.
How was I viewing this earlier? That doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. That's fine. Where was I? I was right here, I believe. Excuse me. All right. Now we're not loading. What's going on? Okay. I thought this was interesting. This is like this statue of this dude is like 10 feet tall. His name's Miles Morgan, MM33. And just, I don't know, something about one of the original settlers in 16 whatever, 36.
Yeah, there's some fake news story.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like some bullshit. Why isn't it working? Look at that. That's the top. Jen, that's the top of the thing. I had to get a close up for you. Look at that.
Yeah. We've seen this all over graveyards, guys, especially the last live stream we did where we showed a lot of the monuments that look like this. And it's either, like I said, either taken down from the top of a building, which you might say, well, how could they have gotten it down? Or maybe it was already on the ground and they relocated them to these graveyards because they didn't want to actually get rid of them. Maybe they could use them down the road. They might need spare parts, but we'll slap a name on it like Wilson and say that's whose monument this is.
Wilson. This is the full length of the image here. It's crazy.
It's what year is
dude, right?
This is built when?
1636. That's allegedly when it started, and they finished it allegedly in 1847. So I mean, at least it's like if that's what really happened, that would make kind of sense. But still, the doors leading into these places are at least 20, 30 feet tall. So
well, we're supposed to believe it took 200 years to build this thing. You know what I mean? Like, how did they hand down the plans and keep this thing like, you know, construction ready for 200 years as they're going? I mean, just the whole thing is either they made it too soon, too quickly, or they took generations to make it. It's both. Either way, it's not true.
Right? You can't have it both ways, and these people love it both ways. No pun intended.
Right.
Come on, we gonna load? I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to. I have 2 Facebook opens, so that could probably help. Let's shut that down. Shut this down. And that's just a view of pretty much everything right there. You got both of them. You know, you have the 2 crazy pillared buildings, and this is right in the middle. I know. He'll be home in a minute. Relax.
Yeah, that's those 2 identical buildings, right?
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah,
you see that everywhere on motherboards, too.
Yes, you're absolutely right, dude. And that's exactly what it is. So we're like, why would they have two identical buildings right there? That doesn't even make sense. And they're identical. You know, these people built identical twin buildings, like twin towers. You know what I mean? And it's because of these key components on their grid system.
Very strange. What do we got? Come on. I know you want to do it. Oh, this is just an overview of everything in the little common there.
Wow.
You got your,
all of
that. Yeah. And the wooden building's allegedly the first one. The first one built, allegedly.
Yeah, that they all look like it's all tech. I mean, when you see it now and you know what you're looking at, it's just amazing to see this stuff. And that, you know, knowing that it had function and it was up and running at one time, and now things are just, you know, they just sit in silence now.
It's crazy. Oh, man, my hand's like falling asleep holding this goddamn computer. Stupid ass dog. All right, well, it's not really loading on my end all of a sudden. Let's see what we got. Come on. That loads fine. Same shit. And then the last one is years. Okay. All right, so I'm going to end that screen share for a second. Hey, you don't do that. You don't do that. Get off the couch. That's not nice. That's what she does. She makes her own mess with the blankets everywhere. Hey,
yeah,
I got your toy now.
My dogs had their little blankets they slept on and stuff.
She's nuts, dude. Where's her little? We got her a little maple syrup chew toy. So, but when she rips it, there's like 3 little pancakes in there for her to chew on.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I'm serious. I didn't believe it either. Yeah, eat your toy, not the couch. Hey, get out of here. She's crazy.
So much better.
She's only 6 months old. She'll chill out sooner or later. Hey, you can't dig in the fucking. Get over here. Get over here. Nothing. She don't want no part of that. She just wants the goddamn. She just wants her fucking my brother to get home. Hey, there's no bite. Yeah, because you know I work and shit all day, so he's kind of home with her. He kind of bought her too, because I was like, yeah, you know, having a dog would be a good idea. And then I come home one day, this motherfucker bought a dog. I was like, yo. He's
That's
like,
how it
yeah.
happened.
Right. I was like, I thought you were just like checking out a dog. He's like, yeah, but I ended up bringing the money and I just bought it. I was like, where's she going to sleep, bro? Like, we even figured that out. Like, I wanted to do it the right way, you know? Get the shit and then get the dog.
I've never bought a pet. I've either found them or they were given to me.
Hey, that's what happened with our first 2 dogs. They were just handed off to us. Hey, get there.
My little dog Lucky, who passed away in 2017. I had him since 2002. I got him at Kmart.
We were going just hanging out in the parking lot.
Well, we went into this Kmart that was closing down in 2002. They were shutting down a whole bunch of Kmarts, and this one was like having like an 80% off sale. It was right before the doors closed. It was like a week before they were closing completely, and everything's 80% off. So we figured, well, let's just go in and see what's left and walk around for a minute. And we walked past the electronics section, and there's this lady holding this little Chihuahua in her arms, talking to another lady. And I was like, oh my gosh, your dog is so cute. And she's like, well, I'm looking for a home for him and all this stuff. And I just took one look at my husband at the time, and he looked at me and he was like, and I was like, I'll take him.
Right now.
Yeah, I had him for quite a long time. And then I had his son as well. So I had the father and son.
That's what's up. You kept them in the family. That's cool. Because we had a brother and sister at one point, but the brother had some kidney disease, and then the sister, she made it a while. They're little Havanese poodles. They're like the size of like my arm there, you know, like nothing real. But she lived for like 15 years. And then our other dog was an Australian cattle, little Taz, and she lived for She was pushing 19 or 20. Like that's incredible, I thought. But I mean, like the last 2 years, because like it wasn't really my dog, and our uncle, he finally moved back in. That was the dog's owner and shit from before, so he kind of like got reattached to her, and it could have, that whole process could have been over a lot quicker. But it is what it is, People gotta hold on to something, I guess. Who's that, Bella? Who's that, Bella? I don't even know if they're home. I just heard a car door. I really hope they're home now. I'm like, fuck. It's like he's gonna start going nuts in a second if no one's home. Hey, get out of the curtains again. What did I tell you about the curtains? Oh my god. She's dog's nuts. I don't know what her issue is with these curtains. We put up these blue and pink, purple looking curtains, and she don't fuck with them. Get out of there. Hey, get over here. Get down.
It's 3:33 here.
How much? It's 3:33 in your neighborhood? Yeah, it's 4:33 over here. It's getting kind of dark out already. I don't know what time it gets dark when. Hey!
It's like around 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's starting to get dark here. By 5 o'clock, the sun's already starting to go down here.
Really? That's strange because, like, you're kind of parallel with Georgia, right?
Yeah.
It's just funny because I wasn't watching the Masters, but I mean, it was pitch black here, and there was still daylight, dude, in Georgia. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that is strange.
It didn't add up. But I'm like, and you're a whole hour ahead of me, or behind me too. So, and Georgia's right below me, but you're parallel with them. So I just thought that was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing's what they told us. Even this whole thing about the fall back, spring forward stuff that they do with the time with us, that's the screw up.
I think that's just to fuck with us.
It is. Because once we just start getting used to our bodies getting used to the cycle change and stuff, they'll go and take an hour away from us or drop us forward an hour and stuff. And then we have to everybody, for those couple of days or weeks, people are like, oh my God, it feels like the day went so fast or it's gone so slow or something now and then you have the anchor thought in your head of you just gained an hour or lost an hour and stuff. And so that starts to fuck with your internal clock and everything. Either you're tired because you didn't get enough sleep, or, it gets dark early, but you look at the clock and it says, oh, it's only 6 o'clock at night and stuff. So you're factoring that time into your consciousness and explaining away what's going on the external instead of letting your body adjust. Which, so I definitely think it's a way for them to fuck with us and also keep the illusion of the globe going in this sun setting kind of thing. Like, because the sun's going in and out of its gates during these seasons, closer in summertime. And it's also, I think, the elevation of it. It doesn't just stay in the same elevation. It comes down a little closer and comes back out, and goes up and back where we have the winter time. Because I would say, well, the sun's closer to us in the summer and further away or whatever. So I think they reversed it or something, but the sun is
what's actually weird, dude? The sun's been setting like more north for some reason. In the wintertime, it should be setting more south. It's staying north for some reason. It's weird.
Huh.
Yeah, like not like north. You know what I'm saying? Like northwest-ish.
Well, I think this whole sun cycle is something's coming with the sun. And it cycles. It runs its course for so long, and then maybe at a point, like say a typewriter. You know, a typewriter back in the old days when there was typewriters, you'd type all the way till the end, and then you'd have to push the thing back and start all over again. Push it back. You probably don't remember that. Anyway, I think that's kind of how the cycle.
I've seen it been used.
The cycle works like that, I think, with the sun and the moon, that they get through a certain course. Say it's 1,000 years or some shit like that. I don't know. But then there's some kind of a reset with that as well. Maybe that's part of the reset cycle.
Maybe. This is just it's the hood, yo. It's downtown Springfield on the edge of the river.
I thought you were
Probably
in
shouldn't have.
Turkmenistan.
No, I pretty much am. Like, this is the big ass bridge. And I don't know why I didn't get like a better picture of the bridge. That was kind of lame. But like, you could tell like the size of that bridge, you know? Like, it's huge. You gotta see what's on like the side of it.
I noticed now when you go through Georgia, like to the airport, oh wow, look at that. There's a lot more homeless people under these bridges along the highways, dude. And I've gone to the airport, I can't tell you how many times since I've lived here. Never until this year have I seen so many people sleeping up under these overpasses and stuff. And this is on Highway 20. It's a major highway. It's not like some bridge out in the hood somewhere underneath of, an avenue or something. And you just see homeless people in tents everywhere. It's insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And if you get like, I wanted to go down because like you see right here, this dome place. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame, and like I watched them construct this, so that wasn't always there. But in the field below it, it kind of looks like one of those like sitting spots for an old school stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like on the mountainside or whatever, where just like mining. You know what I'm saying? It looks like that.
Amphitheater kind of thing?
Yes, it's very, very strange.
Wow,
Look at these light bulbs, Jen. Look at these.
That's tech for sure. They put a regular light in on the sidewalk, but then they have those poles along the bridge thing. But there on the side, you have regular light poles. So clearly that was old world tech, and they just put in these new light posts because they can't get that component running anymore because it's free energy.
Well, I mean, if you look at the light bulbs, I think I show one in a second. These things they don't even work nowadays. I think these were.
Yeah.
I think those were always there too because they don't work either. The ones on the right, they don't work either.
Interesting.
Yeah, look how far down it goes. You can even see in the water, like it goes down too.
That's crazy.
It is.
How the fuck did they build this shit back in the 16 whatevers? Give me a fucking break. They were mucking around in the mud in the 600s, I should say.
Whatever, right?
Wow, that is unbelievable. Tech for sure. You'd see that shit in graveyards everywhere with somebody's name on it. There's Johnson's monument.
Johnson. What are you doing, Johnson? Yeah, apparently it's for, I don't know, war. It's commemorated for war. The other one said Revolutionary War on it. I'm like, wow.
Very easy for them to slap on the side of these buildings. They could slap any plaque they want up there.
Look at that thing.
What?
Right in the middle. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Is it a griffin? Looks kind of like a griffin or something.
I think it is. It's crazy. It's a bird. I think it's a phoenix.
That's very, very interesting. You can get a frontal view of it. If you look this bridge up on your internet, you might be able to get a front view of it on a Google search.
It was very crazy. I was like, wow. Oh, how'd I get in there? All right, let's stop that. I don't even know which one's which. Oh, this is right after I called you here. I don't know. I didn't share audio, but this is literally right after I called you. Because that crazy ass building with the fucking archway on it.
Did you go in?
Look at those, though. I tried. You'll see. You'll see. Look at these, though.
That's insane, dude.
Singed as fuck, too.
Right? And it's
there
a fucking iconic fucking thing.
Look at that.
Yes, I think this was around pre-reset, and the Masons hijacked this G and compass and square.
Or it's not even a G, Jen. It's a C. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
It looks like a horseshoe.
It is, dude. See, that's what gets me fucked up. I'm like, maybe the Freemasons just made the name up and just kept the symbols.
I think that's what they did, yeah. And look at that brick. It's so crazy looking.
got fucked up, dude. It got effed up. Here, let me you can get in, but this door was locked. I mean, you can see, look at the marble floor, the marble stairs, the marble rail even, people. That's
Wow.
crazy. That's old. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's stuck.
they replaced the front doors there, and they probably made them smaller for people to go in, you know. That's pretty high arch.
Right. You can't miss that. I think it should be higher. I think half of the arch is underground.
Probably.
That's why I agree with what you were saying. There probably was some shit under there. Look at this. I'm just walking and you just see like some crazy shit. Just like random little pillars. No big deal.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And look at that. If you go back to up the top of that pillar,
Yeah.
underneath that window, it's all ornate. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's so.
I don't know.
That?
I wish I noticed that at the time. I would have really like got up on it. And like, I don't know what that means because that's not the address of this place. You know what's really means stranger?
Well, it's a cornerstone.
I get to the other side of the building, and there's another number on it. But this is the building that has has griffins, owls, phoenixes on top, and this is one with the angels or Lucifer, or whatever. I don't know.
At the four corners, okay.
The corners, right? And then I walk over here, and it says freaking 131, bro. Like what?
Oh,
like
that's so
that's
interesting.
crazy. Yeah.
But you know what? It's not so crazy. If you look at a motherboard and you see the numbers on it, like C12, C8.
That's what I thought of too.
It's probably something that has to do with people who run and maintain the motherboard components, that they need to see these numbers externally so they know what, you know, like when our electric goes out here, they know which pole to go to and stuff that went down or whatever. It's all numbered out for them.
Look at this. I haven't showed this on camera yet either. This is Springfield District Court. That's crazy. Look how big that door is, dude. And look how little the actual door is. You know?
Yeah, definitely repurposed building there.
But all these buildings, they have like the word Lex on them. What does that mean?
I think it might be Latin. It's either Latin or Greek. You have to look that up. Lex,
yeah, because this building and that castle-looking building, the juvenile court, had Lex on it. And notice the owl and the phoenix again. They love that phoenix, dude. Looking both ways. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. And like, real quick, notice the pillars. So right here, this is a completely different type of pillar than what's on the what's it called? City Hall and Symphony Hall right next door, the twin buildings. Completely different pillars. How's that possible? How? Like, this is more Egyptian. The other ones look like they're straight out of Greece. It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. Well, what's messed up? Check this out. You're gonna be blown, Jen. This is what I was telling you about the half-story building. Look at that.
What the fuck?
There's a smokestack coming out of it, Jen. And look at that burnt-ass building that has, look at those basement windows. Fuck that.
And up the side, too, of that corner that you just showed had the exposed brick right there. Look at that. What the fuck is that?
And it has an A-frame. Look at me. What the fuck? Like, look at that. It even has an A-frame for the door. I bet that building goes like 10 stories underground.
Oh, wait. You just went past it a tiny bit. I want to check out that corner with all the brick that's exposed right there running up it. Yeah, you can see, because this had a white plaster covering over it. It's all faded off now. It looks like it's just whitewashed paint and stuff. But it most likely had like some kind of a plaster facade over it that's all gone now. And look at these fucking windows, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not sure how to explain the mud flood basement windows to the motherboard component.
Well,
did this building come down on itself?
Yes. You know, I think they're so heavy, Jen. If the floor is molten almost, it's just going to go straight down. That's what I think happened.
Exactly.
I could see it, or the ground fucking rose, dude. I don't know. It's one of the two. It can't be anything else.
It could be, Steve, because if you look at certain motherboards, the way they fry, you see the bottom, that green
They go
bottom.
up.
And I also want to stress here, the motherboards and the circuit boards are mostly green on the level surface, and the components are put on top of it. When you look at our plane, it's got green grass on it, and the boards are green. You see what I'm saying? So that's very interesting to see that correlation. But if you look, some of the motherboards, the street, what we would consider the streets where there's no components, where we use bubble up and come up. So that could be it, is that the street's coming up over it.
Notice the different types of pillars too. These ones aren't smooth. These are the indented ones, and they have the Greco looking type shit to them. The one right next door, where was it? It was like right around here. Right next door. Completely different pillar, dude. How? How is that possible? They didn't know the ways. Come on.
Crazy.
That blows my mind, dude. Right next door. Like, what's that? It's 2 minutes in a video.
Dude,
Come
I'm
on.
crazy. We totally inherited all this stuff. There was definitely not too long ago a whole nother civilization of people here. And it was, I think, the smaller people were maybe easily adaptable to overcoming and lasting through this. Maybe the larger people couldn't sustain. Maybe the air did get thinner. Maybe it had something to do with the oxygen levels when this X factor event
some
took
sort of 5G like stuff in the air too that was fucking people up. But keep going.
Yeah, look at that. Even the patterns on those windows and stuff, it's all functional to the unit itself, to this particular building, this tech. The whole building itself is tech, not just things like this that we see out front or on top. That's also part of the building. It's part of its tech. But the whole thing itself is functional. That whole tower is functional, and it has a purpose there besides just standing there and looking pretty. It's functional.
Freaks me out, man. Freaks me out.
Yeah.
All right, let me just get to all the videos I sent you. Let me close Facebook because it's been acting mad shitty. Or actually, let's talk about the throne of Satan real quick. So let's just keep that up.
An aerial view. You said it looks like a chair.
So Pergamum in general. So this is Pergamum in Turkey.
Pergamum. I don't even like that name, Pergamum. It sounds like purgatory.
Yeah, it's not good, but just completely devastated. And this is what I'm talking about. At that rounded building, this is what's under the ground, man. It's crazy. There's grass over it. They did a good job covering it up. I'll get video of that on a different day. But
well, if grass was over that, people would come in and terrace it and put rice paddies there and stuff. I think a lot of the terracing we see on the sides of these mountains are from old, ancient, larger amphitheaters that were just, got grass growing over it now.
yeah, and look, in Pergamum, they had their own temple of Zeus. Imagine that. All the way in Turkey, Libya, you name it. Zeus was hanging around everywhere. How does that work, though? That's kind of sketchy. This is what I'm talking about. This was originally in Pergamum, but somehow, some way, someone in like the 1900s moved this entire structure to Berlin, and now it's the Pergamum Museum.
I can't
and
believe.
Why do I think it? And why do I say this is a throne of Satan? I mean, it kind of looks like you got like so. Say Satan's 2 fucking miles high. You know what I'm saying? There's your armrest. There's your back. There's your other armrest, and you just chill.
Yeah.
And you just chill. And I mean, in the Bible, it literally talks about the Church of Pergamum. I know they had the throne of Satan. You know what I'm saying? It's right there for you. It's crazy. Pillars. You got this Minotaur looking dude over here. All fucked up. All fucked up. And apparently Obama had some little speech that was identical, but it's all good. It's all good.
Wow.
Nothing about Barack Obama, Lucifer, fucking, what is it? Lightning from heaven, Barack Obama. And it seems to me like lightning may have caused this event, that fucked everything up. Look at that. Like, what kind of good people back in the year before Christianity was like abolished, who knew about the Garden of Eden, who's drawing snakes, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Come on.
maybe with the reset, if there is a cyclical reset to the sun and the moon's tracks throughout their gates and stuff, like I said, like a typewriter, you're typing along, and then you get to the end, it dings, and you got to push it back. Maybe that pushback, that reset sparks some type of arcing event that takes place with the sun. And because they always tell us, there's going to be a CME that's going to come from the sun and take out our whole grid, knock out the electrical grid. Well, I mean, and they put it like as if it's in space and it's going to be a solar mass ejection, but it could actually just be an arcing that takes place from the sun that does affect the grid here on the ground and starts to, if the grid's up and running and it's fucked with in any kind of way, it will short circuit and fry. Our grid isn't quite up and running, and we're using a whole different type of grid system to begin with. We're not using the free energy. So there'd be a different kind of effect. It might be more of a firestorm than a meltdown. You know what I mean?
Maybe like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
They found, what was it? Not lithium. What was it? The pure sulfur balls. Imagine that. There's Lex again. See? What's that Lex about?
You got to look that up, Steve.
You know what?
Well, the other building said Lex Justica or something.
Yeah. Justifica looks kind of like justice, I could get that, but
write the whole Lex Justifica out and see what it says, and then we'll know what the Lex means. I think it means this or the, maybe. And I think it's Latin. I don't know. We'll see.
Something about coronavirus. How do you even spell what that is? I don't think I spelled it right. Just
do the second one down. Lex Justica. Justia or whatever it says.
Where?
I thought I saw it. Go back one letter on your search and it'll come back up. Wasn't it one of those? Lex Justia? Justia is the second one down in your search. There, click that one. No, is that Lex Luthor?
Looks like, yeah. That's okay. We'll figure it out a different day. That's still strange. Let me just do.
I'll look it up while you're doing that.
You're born. I don't know. Lex. Rule. Law. Okay. Says it means law. Very strange. Oh, I was just driving here. I don't know if you guys, am I still screen sharing? I believe I am.
So what was it? Law and justice?
Law and rule.
Law and rule.
That was in Greek. Latin I didn't get too much. But this is just the Freemasonic Hall again. But,
that thing is creepy as fuck, that building.
That, dude. I've never seen anything this big. Those are pillars.
And
those are PILARS. This is something you find in fucking Pergamum.
And that has the fucking thing in it, the eagle wings with the all-seeing eye pyramid in the center. I mean, it's all right there in that.
Right. I doubt a Freemason went up there and carved that in. You know what I'm saying?
Look at even in the A-frame, you got the pillars of light coming out into the pyramid in that A-frame.
Right. It's fucked, dude. Looks like there's someone standing up there too. That's not good. You got look at these windows. Stone shut, stone shut, stone shut.
If you look at the pillars at the top. If you go up to the pillars, right when they come up to the A-frame where they flatten out, okay? Right before that, they have those ribbed sections. It looks technically, these pillars look like Tesla little pillars or something. This is all components to the building. Each component to our motherboard has components within themselves.
Look at this. This is Northwestern Mutual. This is an insurance company, I guess.
Nice modern plaque they stuck on there.
Right. Well, look at that, dude. That's incredible.
Amazing architecture. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful. Look at how big the door is. Look at the door. They had to close up part of it, for Christ's sake.
Half of it, dude.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude. That's like literally a 25-foot door. That's crazy.
They're huge windows. Look at the desk and the people's little desks there in the window. That's massive windows.
The people's little desk, literally. Look at this. I've been walking through. This is called Museum Park, by the way. It's where all the museums are. This is the Science Museum.
Yeah, they reassigned all these buildings and made them museums because they didn't know what else to do with them.
Oh man, I should probably plug my.
I gotta say, Steve, if you think about the World's Fairs and how they had the museum or the building of arts and the building of this and that, I think that was to condition people to get them ready to go out into the society.
Yes.
To these different towns and see these buildings as being, the building of central art or, the building of commerce or something like that. And to get used to them already hearing those terminologies and seeing these buildings as being that kind of a structure. When actually they weren't. These were all components of the board. And I don't think a lot of these buildings were even inhabited. That's why they had to go in and put plumbing in these buildings and stuff. Even the Palace of Versailles, if you look at that they couldn't believe how somebody could build such an ornate palace and not put plumbing in, yet they have fountains everywhere outside. It's because the building was not meant to be inhabited.
Absolutely. Oh, look at this gem I found hiding in the bushes. Look at this. Look at this. Come on. Oh, wow, dude, right? It's like a Pegasus.
Oh, my God, dude. Look at that thing.
And it's into a horn. Yeah, dude. Like, what? Look at all these horns. Oh, and these things are fucked up here. The last three, these three aren't bad. I mean, you got like your little, oh no.
And then they're in hexagons.
Yes, they're in hexagons, but the first three, I didn't zoom in on them. The first one is like the Mayan calendar looking dude, looking all effed up. Second one, I couldn't really tell what it was. But the last three I zoom in and that's like the chalice, the urn. I don't know what the fuck that is, but yeah, the center's pretty cool looking.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. This is the art museum.
Two angels. What's in the center?
I don't know. Fuck, I keep doing that, dude. What a dipshit. It was like right here, yeah. Yeah, some horse looking all singed on top. No big deal.
The roofing sort of melted down too and stuff. But probably they'd go up there and put a new roof on or something. But these cyclical events, we have to start looking at these resets as the possibly cycles that they're able to hijack. They know all this stuff, guys. They know it's flat. They know the tracks of the sun and the moon, the cycles of it. And they probably know when the cycle's coming to an end and when there's going to be an opportunity, because they never let a good opportunity go to waste, to hijack it and piggyback that reset.
Look at that sucker.
That is nuts, dude. That's definitely the old world right there for sure.
I mean, that looks like the dude who was on top of the Nimrod towers, remember?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Look at that.
Looks like Cthulhu to me. I don't know what that says. Oh, yeah, I zoomed in on that to look it up. T-O-K. See, I can't even look it up because these aren't even letters, dude. Freaks me out.
T-O-K-A-A-A-O-E?
I guess, but there's no connections on these A's.
Oh, no, you're right. Because one looks like an A, the other two look like upside down V's.
Freaks me out, dude.
That's weird.
It is.
These could just be extra components, extensions to the components. You know how our computers, we can go into extensions and add extensions onto our apps and stuff? I think things like this are extensions onto the building for other purposes, as far as directing the energy to be used in a certain way. There's that fucking scarab, dude. Wow.
Why is he in Springfield, Mass, bro?
No, dude, but he is. That's nuts.
I don't like that.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's beautiful as far as the originality looking of it. It looks like it came straight from Egypt.
Literally, dude. So what was he? That's what makes me say the things like whatever Egypt actually was, because I see that shit everywhere.
Huh.
Yeah, that just a church made of brick. No big deal.
Red brick.
Notice like the muddy ass road I'm on too. To this day, fucking can't grow nothing.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that. I mean, the architecture, the symmetry, the architecture is just so beautiful. Whether these were good or bad entities, I mean, look at the
They knew how to build.
And they knew that if they made it ornate like that, that it would light up. Now, could you imagine walking along this building at night and seeing all that ornateness lit up in its all of its divinity? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It must have been absolutely amazing to see this stuff actually working.
Has like names written on it too. Look at this building. Just randomly, nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's all abandoned and shit.
How crazy is all this shit? In the middle of nowhere downtown. You know, pillars. These were marble. These are marble pillars, by the way. Smooth to the touch.
We got to get dates on all these buildings. And I love how the dates always vary. This one will be like 1792. The other one will say 1895, you know, and it's here. It's all exact same architecture, exact same materials. Where the fuck were they getting marble pillars from back in 17 whatever?
What I'm saying, bro. Doesn't add up. Look at these buildings. 1904. That was actually a 1 too. Look at that. That's a window. It's a fucking window.
Like again, the windows get smaller as you go higher. You were asking about that recently, and we were surmising that maybe the smaller people lived on top. The smaller people are the ones who went up into these spires and towers to maybe maintain the tech up there.
Change the bulbs and whatever, polish them off.
Yeah, because look, the windows are always smaller up top.
You're gonna like this. Look at that. Smoked.
Oh yeah,
all green on top. Definitely got devastated.
It was probably green because it's actually a metal. It's not a stone-like piece there, and that part all lit up when it was functioning. You're not going back out level. No, come here, something to eat.
They call this a Holiday Inn. Nothing but pillars. Oh yeah, this is a wasted video. Went back here thinking I'd find something, but I didn't. Just looked like an intruder. Did I share this already? I believe I did. Look at this thing. This thing freaked me out. Statue with some dude on it. I mean a pillar with a dude on it. Square pillar.
Wow, look at that.
Huge. This is right in the middle. This is right behind the techie looking thing.
Okay, yeah, because that's where you find that kind of technology, right out in the middle of the square, or right out in Vatican
City Common.
They got the obelisk in the center of the Vatican keyhole thing.
Very crazy.
Very techie. And they always have some little metal fence around it. It's always up on a staircase that leads up into a coning effect. Yeah, they slapped those on there.
Hold on, let me get back here. Yo, I almost shit my pants. Read this. You see that?
Pluribus unum, dude.
Get the fuck out, right? Get the fuck out. Give me a break. One out of many people, order out of chaos. If you're new to the program, you're going to like this. It's a water fountain that don't work no more, but look at this.
Wow. It's so techie when you see it like that with no water coming out of it. Look how techie that shit is.
Yep. That's nuts, dude, right? Look at it. There's like demons on it, bro. Look at it. Here, let me zoom in. Where are you? Look at that son of a bitch.
Wow, that is creepy, dude. And why would you make a fountain like that? You know what I mean? At the time frame that they're saying that a lot of these fountains are made from the 16, 17s, even earlier than that, they have really ornate fountains. It would have to have functionality to take that much time and effort to make it that ornate. That's insane, that building. I would love to go up in that thing and check it out. It's an eye.
This is where it all started for me.
Yep. Can you zoom in any more? We'll go more.
I can't, unfortunately. But yeah, who's coming out here to say a speech, bro? I want to know. I'll tell him something. Maybe I won't. I don't like the designs on this shit.
Look at that. Now go back up a tiny bit. Do you see those three things? Look at the three things right there on top, right there.
Those are probably giving it light back in the day. Those are probably spotlights.
I bet they illuminate it, and they probably illuminated that whole thing right there, just like we would put something up like that today to illuminate a sign or something, for sure.
100%. Wow. I already saw this today. I'm still blown away.
I would love to go in that and check it out, try to sneak in.
Oh, dude, you almost could if you just hop this little fence here and hop that fence, but I'm sure the door is locked and oh man, you believe me, I had that saw a couple times today.
And you have to talk to somebody to see if you would be able to schedule a little tour in there or something. They might do stuff like that. I don't know.
That'd be crazy. Look at this. Here's the other twin building right next to it. Twin pillars next to each other.
Towers, twin buildings. I mean, twin architecture.
Twin tech, baby. Yeah, twin tech.
It's twin tech. Yep.
And I always see like repeating patterns on motherboards too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Especially the column ones. The column ones, you always see those. And we're starting to see more of the round ones, like kind of like that. The round components, the cylinder looking ones and stuff.
Like a bell. I was like, what is there doing a bell? They made a bell into a fucking flower vase. People are sick.
Take note, copper conducts electricity.
Absolutely.
That is copper bell, and it turned green. So that proves that the things that we were looking at were green as well.
Those are probably copper originally.
And that's all
copper.
Yeah.
You go.
No, the tech on top of the building was copper because that's what's in these Tesla coils is copper is one of the main components. So go ahead.
And copper is the most valuable metal to the fallen angels. Look it up, people. Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh, Jen, this is the first video. This is what I called you. I was telling you about what I saw.
Just pause it for 1 second. I would just like to remind everybody, you're hearing it here with us on our channels here with me and Steve and the shows that we do. You don't see anybody else talking about the stuff that we talk about. We've taken this whole X Factor mud flood event to the next fucking level. And I love that about our shows because we go where no one's gone before. And that's where the pieces really start to fit into this puzzle. It's like, okay, it was a motherboard, blah, blah, blah. But we go into detail. We take you down to street level on these motherboards and show you the tech and explain how.
I was walked into it. I was walked into a building today.
Right. So I just wanted to say that, we're going where no YouTuber has gone before with these kind of subjects. And I'm
on the riverbanks, baby. It's like 40 degrees out today. And my phone died too. I wanted to get 2 more good pictures and my phone died. I was so pissed. I'm like freaking out right now because I'm like, so I just got here, and I turn around and this is what I see in the field behind me. Don't mind the vape. Well, this is the bridge, first of all. Oh my God, I didn't even realize it till right now. I didn't realize the people were there yet. You'll see in a second, guys. That's the bridge. Check this thing, though. That's the factory. That's the energy factory across the street. Imagine that. That's where the electricity for the city comes from. Right across from all the tech on the riverbanks, Jen.
Nice.
Come on, bro.
And it looks like it's red brick. It looks like it's a red brick.
It is. It's crazy. It's crazy. I want to take a tour of that place, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, and that river with the bridge, it looked just like that. The component you showed us that looked like a.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think these rivers, a lot of the rivers are man-made that we are told are not man-made. Like a lot of the straighter looking ones, your river there looks kind of straight. The Delaware River looks very straight. It curves and bends here and there, but mostly it's straight.
Look at this. I've never seen this in my life. I live in Springfield. There's like a random cube next. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's cube. Art. It's art.
Yeah, it's art. It's art. And it has like some geometric shit in the middle. Looking all fucked up.
It's really tech, but they're going to tell us it's art.
Well, check this out. Because like right next to it, bro. Oh, I can. Dude, this is what I saw, bro. People with hoods on doing like a ritual. Look at this stuff.
What the fuck is
Dude,
that?
what the fuck is going on, bro?
Is it?
Down by the river. Look at that shit.
What the fuck are they doing? Do they have hoods on?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I stopped recording and fucking ran to the bridge.
That was weird. What the fuck are we
Dude,
watching here?
I don't know. Someone better send me something, because like I just put my life in danger for y'all motherfuckers, bro. This one had a hood over her face, bro. I don't know. And they were all girls. What is that for?
A weird fucking collie dance or something.
Dude, I didn't like it, bro. I didn't like it.
Did you look up anything for that area? Any events that were taking place? I mean, it didn't look like they had a crowd of people watching what they were doing, like some ancient ritual, like a little, people do like a Dutch. Oh, it'll be like some in memory of the Dutch. They'll do their dances and stuff or whatever. But it didn't look like they had any but spectators. So I mean, what the hell are people doing?
And it was like 30, 40 degrees out today. It's crazy.
That was some fucking witches, dude. That was some witch shit right there.
I know.
And on a river, that's a high energy spot right there. You should check.
Look where all the tech was. Look where all the tech is in our background picture right now. You know what? I'm removing us from the stream. Just look at the background picture, people. How do I do that? I forgot how to do that. Bye-bye. Down by the river. Crazy. But you know what? I gotta get out of here. Like I said, it's my mother's birthday. I think she just walked in the door. The dog's going ape shit. So that's the only plausible solution I got.
Well, I love you. Thank you for having me on. Yeah. And we're going to be live on my channel here real soon, because we're going to get even deeper into this tech, and we're going to start looking underground at some of these cemeteries, because I'm finding out more and more that a lot of these cemeteries have underground tunnels.
Absolutely.
So who knows what they're hiding down there?
Absolutely. Yeah. Black magic, maybe. Who knows? But all right, yo. Thank you for coming, everyone. This was a 6 show. We went 2 hours. That's not too bad. Normally we go double that, but
it's all good.
It is what it is. I mean, we got some good content out today. I hope people, show people this stuff, dude. Share it, because this is, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple days, weeks, months, even years. Who know? Just look at what we have now. Try to piece out the puzzle so we don't let what happened happen again. And I feel like we are inching ourselves closer second by second. Each move everyone makes, coming down to mask or no mask, or you know what I'm saying? Just little things like that bring us that much closer. Allowing not protesting about a lockdown, that much closer we come to a lifestyle of just total dormant in hell. And that's when I feel like the reset happens. I feel like the reset benefits us and just completely devastates whatever, built
unless
all these
they
buildings.
Figure out a way to hijack it or piggyback it in some
These
way.
people are trying to artificially reset this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is a good reset coming. This might be the unplugging of the machine, perhaps. But
this is the thinning of the herd reset, where there's going to be a lot less people afterward.
Yeah. Look at Bill Gates. I'll never get rid of that video will never get old to me. We can lower population by 10 or 15% with reproductive health program or reproductive health services, more fucking vaccines, and he said some other dumb shit. I'm like, you're just gonna say that like it's no big deal? That's crazy. But it's where we are. It's 2020. It is what it is, I guess. But I mean, the creek's rising, people. Time to start getting mentally prepared. You could be physically prepared, like we were talking about, Jen. You could have 2 years of bug out equipment, but first off, if you don't know how to use it, it's another thing. But if you're not spiritually ready to take on the challenges that Jesus Christ took on back in the day, it's not going to be fun. You're going to fall to temptation, I think, and everyone's got to get right, including me. I'm not a saint. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a kid, but I'm a kid that's looking at some old ass shit, and I see similarities between now and then, and here we are.
Yeah. Right? And every day, little by little, the truth is coming out. And if we don't know our past,
that happens too.
We absolutely don't know our past. We know his story. We don't know our story. We don't know about any of this stuff till we started exposing it. And we're starting to realize more and more that things are not as ancient as they tell us. Things happened a lot more recently. And what could have actually have caused this, and what are we headed towards right now? Just like all the ancient knowledge they kept from us about the flat plane, even this apocalypse effect that's taking place right now, the unveiling of everything is a cyclical nature. They can only hide their lies and their spells for so long, and then it all wears off. And this is where we're coming to, and that's why they're trying so hard to keep us indoors and masked up and complying and in fear, so we don't fall into that awakening process in that transition period between epochs, eras, whatever you want to call it, resets. But clearly, there's this in between moment where we have a real chance to wake up and see what's going on and learn from it, and not go down that road they want us to go down and make all these mistakes again. So
absolutely. Just don't let them invade your temple, people. It's that simple. And on that, we're getting out of here. Thanks for coming, Jen. Everyone in the chat, God bless you. If you're watching.